All right, welcome back to the Daily Facts, and we're going to get back into the Michigan voter fraud slash election fraud um, complaint filed by Sidney Powell. So this is part two. Expert witness testimony regarding voter fraud, voting fraud. In addition to the above fact witnesses, this complaint presents expert witness testimony demonstrating that several hundred thousand illegal, ineligible, duplicate, or purely fictitious votes must be thrown out. In particular, one, a report from Russell Ramsland Jr. showing the physical impossibility of nearly 385,000 votes injected by four precincts townships on November 4th, 2020, that resulted in the counting of nearly 290,000 more ballots processed than available capacity, which is based on statistical analysis that is independent of his analysis of Dominion's flaws. Two, a report from Dr. William Briggs showing that there were approximately 60,000 absentee ballots listed as unreturned by voters that either never requested them or that requested and returned their ballots. And three, a report from Dr. Eric Quinnell analyzing the anomalous turnout figures in Wayne and Oakland counties, showing that Biden gained nearly 100% and frequently more than 100% of all new voters in certain townships precincts over 2016, and thus indicated that nearly 87,000 anomalous and likely fraudulent votes from these precincts. As explained and demonstrated in the accompanying redacted declaration of a former electronic intelligence analyst under 305th Military Intelligence with experience gathering SAM missile system electronic intelligence, the Dominion software was accessed by agents acting on behalf of China and Iran in order to monitor and manipulate elections, including the most recent U.S. general election in 2020. This declaration further includes a copy of the patent records for Dominion Systems, in which Eric Coomer is listed as the first of the inventors of Dominion voting systems. See attached hereto as Exhibit 105, copy of redacted witness affidavit, November 23rd, 2020. Expert Navid Cachaveras Nia explains that U.S. intelligence services had developed tools to infiltrate foreign voting systems, including Dominion. He states that Dominion software is vulnerable to data manipulation by unauthorized means and permitted election data to be altered in all battleground states. He concludes that hundreds of thousands of votes that were cast for President Trump in the 2020 general election were transferred to former Vice President Biden. Exhibit 109. These and other irregularities provide this court grounds to set aside the results of the 2020 general election and provide the other declaratory and injunctive relief requested herein. Jurisdiction and venue. This court has subject matter under 28 U.S.C. 1331, which provides the district courts shall have original jurisdiction of all civil actions arising under the Constitution, laws, or treaties of the United States. This court also has subject matter jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1343 because this violation involves a federal election for President of the United States. a significant departure from the legislative scheme for appointing presidential electors presents a federal constitutional question. Bush versus Gore, 531 U.S. 98113, 2000. Rehnquist, C.J. concurring. Smalley versus Holm, 285 U.S. 355, 365, 1932. The jurisdiction of the court to grant declaratory relief is conferred by USC 2201 and 2202 and by Rule 57 Federal R. Civ P. This court has jurisdiction over the related Michigan constitutional claims and state law claims under 28 U.S.C. 1367. Venue is proper because a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to the claim occurred in the Eastern District, 28 U.S.C. 1391 B and C. Because the United States Constitution reserves for state legislators the power to set the time, place, and manner of holding elections for Congress and the President, state executive officers, including but not limited to Secretary Benson, have no authority to unilaterally exercise that power, much less flout existing legislation. The parties. Each of the following plaintiffs are registered Michigan voters and nominees of the Republican Party to be a presidential elector on behalf of the state of Michigan. Timothy King, a resident of Washtenaw County, Michigan. Marion Ellen Sheridan, a resident of Oakland County, Michigan. And John Earl Haggard, a resident of Charlevoix, Michigan. Each of these plaintiffs has standing to bring this action and as voters and as candidates for the office of the elector under MCL 168.42 and 168.43, election procedures for Michigan electors. As such, presidential electors have a cognizable interest in ensuring that the final vote tally reflects the legally valid votes cast as an accurate vote tally in a concrete and particularized injury to candidates such as the electors. Carson versus Simon, 978F 3D 1051, 1057, 8th Circuit 2020, affirming that presidential electors have Article 3 and prudential standing to challenge actions of Secretary of State in implementing or modifying state election laws. See also McPherson versus Blacker, 146 U.S. 127, 1892. Bush versus Palm Beach County, canvassing 531 U.S. 70, 76, 2000 per curiam. Each brings this action to set aside and decertify the election results for the office of President of the United States that was certified by the Michigan Secretary of State on November 23, 2020. The certified results showed a plurality of 154,188 votes in favor of former Vice President Joe Biden over President Trump. Plaintiff James Ricard is a registered voter residing in Oceana County. He is the Republican Party chairman of Oceana County. Plaintiff James David Hooper is a registered voter residing in Wayne County. He is the Republican Party chairman for the Wayne County 11th District. Plaintiff Darren Wade Ribin is a registered voter residing in Antrim County. He is the Republican Party chairman of Antrim County. Defendant Gretchen Whitmer, governor of Michigan, is named herein in her official capacity as governor of the state of Michigan. Defendant Jocelyn Benson, Secretary Benson, is named as a defendant in her official capacity as Michigan's Secretary of State. Jocelyn Benson is the Chief Elections Officer responsible for overseeing the conduct of mission elections, MCL 168.21. The Secretary of State shall be the Chief Election Officer of the state and shall supervisory control. She shall have supervisory control over local election officials in the performance of their duties under the provisions of this Act, MCL 168.31A. 1A. The Secretary of State shall issue instructions and promulgates forth conduct of elections and registrations in accordance with the laws of this state. Local election officials must follow Secretary Benson's instructions regarding the conduct of elections. Michigan law provides that the Secretary Benson advise and direct local election officials as to the proper methods of conducting elections. MCL 168.31(1)B. See also Hare versus Barron Co-BD of election 129 NW2D 864 Michigan 1964 Davis versus Secretary of State 2020 Michigan App Lexus 6128 at number 9 Michigan Court Appellate September 16, 2020. I'm assuming that's what that means. Secretary Benson is responsible for assuring Michigan's local election officials conduct elections in a fair, just, and lawful manner. See MCL 168.21, 168.31, 168.32. See also League of Women Voters of Michigan versus Secretary of State 2020 Michigan Lexus 709 number 3. Michigan Court Appellate January 27, 2020. Citizens Protecting Michigan's Constitution versus Secretary of State 922 NW2D 404 Michigan Court Appellate 2018. I'm assuming that's what that means. AFD 921 in W2D 24 Michigan. Okay, Fitzpatrick versus Secretary of State. Defendant Michigan Board of State Canvassers is responsible for approving voting equipment for use in the state, certifying the result of elections held statewide. Michigan election officials, manual page 4, see also MCL 168.841. On March 23, 2020, the Board of State Canvassers certified the results of the 2020 election, finding that Joe Biden had received 154,188 more votes than President Donald Trump. Statement of facts. Plaintiffs bring this action under 42 U.S.C. 1983 and 1984 and under MCL 168.861 to remedy deprivations of rights, privileges, immunities secured by the Constitution and laws of the United States, to contest the election results and the corollary under the Michigan Constitution. The United States Constitution sets forth the authority to regulate federal elections with respect to congressional elections. The Constitution provides the times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof, but the Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations, except as to the places of choosing senators. U.S. Constitution, Article 1(4), Elections Clause. With respect to the appointment of presidential electors, the Constitution provides each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress, but no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. U.S. Constitution, Article 2(1), Electors Clause. Under the Michigan Election Code, the electors of the president and vice president for the state of Michigan are elected by each political party at their state convention in each presidential election year. See MCL 168.42 and 168.43. Okay, we're going to leave it there for now, and we will return very soon. Thank you for stopping by the Daily Facts. Do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.